Good afternoon, one and all. Change begins with me. My society begins with me. And perhaps the social problems around us also begins with one of my own. So in the language of Venn diagrams, set A is the girls that I like. And set B are the girls, yeah, you read that right, who like me. And set A intersection set B, yeah, it's almost a null set. And maybe this is the reason why on a long enough timeline, I have been single more often than not. Yeah. Similarly, set A are those companies who are there to make a lot of money, real big profits. And set B are those companies who are solving problems, very well-defined, active societal needs. And set A intersection set B is again almost a null set. And that is why I believe most of the social problems, the most undeserving ones, even exist as of today. While most companies in set A would often argue that they also do good for society, they also solve a lot of problems, like in forms of philanthropy or the 2% of CSR which governments ask them to do so, and they get a chance to solve social problems. But how would you compare it with companies in the set B who generate all the profits if they do 100% of their profits by doing an activity which can be included in CSR, and then again donating 2% of those profits to CSR? That would be 102% of solving problems via CSR instead of just 2%. That is more than 50 times of more effectiveness. And we guess we need more of such companies so that less and less problems would exist. And we were exposed to one of these problems when I was in engineering college. We were shown a disturbing video of a woman being lifted with the caretakers to the bathroom. And in the end, she said that it would be great if she could do it all alone. We said, why not? This should be definitely possible. And then we made a prototype which won the design event Avishkar, Festus, an award. And like all college projects, for that brief moment, it stopped there. We took up jobs. 2 years later, 2 of our teammates were in Pune discussing of what happened to our project and should we take it and make that happen, convert it into reality. So we started pursuing it as a hobby. And on weekends we used to work, and slowly we started running out of money. So we realized that we will have to get someone to support us. So I got in touch with one of the fund managers. So here is how the conversation went. Okay, Ganesh, give an introduction of yourself. I said blah, 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 blah. After that, first question, what is your market size? I was stunned. Okay, I'm not sure. How do you aim to achieve product market fit? Again, nothing good I could answer. And then 5 more questions like this, which I couldn't answer. That was a really embarrassing moment for me because we felt that we were been working on a project for 1 year and how little we knew about this. And as much as we hated it back then, having that discussion, we love that it happened. Because that is what inspired us to take it further. And when we researched, we came across a very interesting discovery that the world is aging very fast. For the first time in human history, there will be more senior citizens than children below the age of 5 years just by 2020. And 35% of these senior citizens require assistance in carrying out activities of daily living, just like that woman which we were shown in that video. So when we discovered this, our target audience just became multifold. It became more than 10 times than what we thought it actually was. So that means if we actually go ahead and build a venture around solving that problem, our chances of success or making it happen became much better. So when we talk of solving problems and pursuing purpose with innovation, why we do what we do is the central theme around which it operates. And we came up with a very simple design of a height adjustable shower and commode wheelchair, which would enable caretakers to take people from their bed to the bathrooms. Let us see a small video around it. So Mrs. Sonawane used to require 2 more caretakers and almost half an hour's time to take her mother-in-law to the bathroom, but with our product, it became just a 2 minutes job. This is just how it rolls over the toilet, and also it can enable people to access bathrooms independently. A small innovation, but made a huge difference to all the lives that it has touched so far. And then, when innovation is driven by passion alone, this, I guess, is driven by a question of why not? So, when in college, when we used to make aircrafts and drones, a friend would come and ask, hey, we get this online, why are you making it? We would always come back and say, oh, because why not? And then we aim to do things like an Android-operated wheelchair, saying that when I'm on bed, why do I need a caretaker to bring that chair to me? Why can't I just summon it myself with an Android app? And we did that and demonstrated in Make in India. Also, it had some features like gesture control. So when passion meets purpose, when we actually want to solve a problem passionately, it is a matter of consciousness of how do we actually know that we have found a purpose, and if that is the final thing I've been waiting for all my life to go and work for it. I believe it can be structured into 3 elements. One is known knowns. Second, known unknowns. And third, unknown unknowns. So known knowns is what we know that we know. We knew that if we make this wheelchair, it would help, say, 1,000 people. And then the known unknowns. What we know that we don't know. When we began, we didn't know that how big exactly our market was, or how much price would that wheelchair be affordable for the customer whom we were building it for. But we knew that we didn't know it, and we will figure that out. But then, before taking a leap, the third element, I believe, is the most interesting one, which is of unknown unknowns. You don't know what you don't know. And the only way in which we can actually figure that out is to go ahead and do it. So, at the intersection of purpose, passion, and innovation, problems not only get solved, but they get solved uniquely. And this, I believe, is very important, so that there is not some overcrowding in solving certain sections of the problems and the rest of them gets overlooked. Thank you.